put on the chat. So I just figured there's like a lot of videos out there, you know, like a lot of guides and stuff, you know. So, you know, gonna make my own guides, you know, why not think on it? But seriously though, you know, I really do want to make these guides for you, you know. Last week I did a guide, was it, you know, just not too long ago, I did a guide on just how would you fight against a pro player, you know. And I'm doing other guides too. So this one, just explain neutral, because I never really made a guide on that, how neutral plays in MK11, you know? So, like, Scorpion, how it would play out, right? So. Retro and footsies and all that, right? So, I guess other people play it different. I play it, I guess, I don't know. So, let's see. What's, man, you guys are already blowing up the fucking comments, right? When neither player has frame advantage, you try to poke for some plus frames. Easy. Have my pen and pad ready. That's what's up. Neutral. Most people, okay, so for my definition neutral, most people will say this is neutral, right? Yes, there's also neutral as in like, put it on the board. That's neutral. That's on block. That's neutral, right? And as he said, step on, jump back. So that's neutral. No one's at an advantage, right? But you could argue in this case, Scorpion has the advantage because the War has an 8 frame down 1. Scorpion, on the other hand, has got 7 frames. So technically, Scorpion would be the one that set you down to. No, you got it wrong. Step 2 is down 2 on hit. Down 2 after down 1. If someone hits you with down 1, you just down 2. Doesn't matter what happens, you just down 2. But all jokes aside, so people would probably say this is neutral. I feel like that's wrong. I feel like it just depends on your character, right? When you play against Devora, how do you want to play neutral? It's not right here. Well, as a Scorpion player, right? So in this matchup, you don't want to play right here. You want to play it like right here. The reason why is because, let's just put this as the save position, right? Devora has got the range, right? Devora has a range, like that's how far like Scorpion can reach with his back 2, but back 2 he has no safe options unless he has a reborn, you know. You know, that's the only safe option he has. Like this on block, it's -10. You don't want that. You just play collector. So Devora, right? She's got a 4-2, right? And you want to play outside of that. She also's got to jump 1. Like, she has, like, all this range. People kind of forget that. Especially when they're zoning, when they always forget, like, they always underestimate how far this 4-2 actually goes. You can kind of compare it to Koldo's 4-2, right? And that's 19 frames, so that's... Wait, it's like 19 frames too. What the fuck? That's actually... So you could kind of compare it, you know? Which is kind of hilarious. So... And we don't need to explain why we need to play the Koldo matchup right here and not right here. Because if you whiff a move, you clip you with that 4-2 every time, man. So it has a down back 4, which I'm not mistaken is safe from Amplify. Yes, -4. But not the neutral we want to talk about. But we can, you know what? We can get into that. We'll get into that. I did get into it on the guide against how to fight against a pro player, and it's basically I was showcasing basically what to know. So I guess yeah, I mean this is basically neutral. So let's why not? Fuck it, we'll get into it. So the board is like I said, got the 8 frame down one, right? It's 8 frames. Keep that in mind. So I'm just gonna do the whole bit on here as well, just for the hell of it. So if people are rewatching and seeing the pro guide first, just skip. So we got this move right here, right? So this is good for the board. This is like amazing for the board, right? So she gets some mind game off of this. So if you try to take your turn, she cancels this. You have to commit to taking your turn, or else she could just mash again, right? Or she could do. But like that's just a mind game you gotta guess. So another mind game is the amplified, right? So if she has a bar, she could potentially get away with this, and I'll explain how. But the best part about this is that she can check you with the amplifier, and what this does, it keeps everything safe. Like this right here, 422. So many options can be punished, and if you're not using like Buzz, where you have the overhead. All your options are like unsafe. Like this by itself is still unsafe. It's -12. If they actually read it, you could duck this, and if you don't space this properly, certain well, that's -22. If you space it properly, still -14. The board herself can punish that. I believe Scorpion can still punish that, right? You still got gimmicks like this. That's a gimmick, but it's punishable if you're ready for it. You know, it's just on end, and you can duck this as well. So keep that in mind. So the gimmick for this is like people try to, or the board players try to match down one after that. And if you do the math, so it's -4, right? You add 8 frames to it, that's 12. So you're down one, it's now 12 frames. So theoretically, so she could technically mash on Scorpion, right? Theoretically, like this. Let me do this. Shit, wrong one. Let me put it on block. Right, so I can't use I can't challenge my mid now, right? So this is how it works. So I can just challenge that one and just be like, cool, but then you're opening yourself to that mind game now, right? Because now the ball's in her court again, and now she could do strike throw accept, right? But you can also just grab. Since the down one doesn't come, it isn't like completely active until 2 frames later, the grab will beat it. Alright, so how can we play this, right? And I'm going to show you. So you can backdash it, right? That's the one way you can do it. Or you can block. Like, if you're really that patient, you can block, take your turn, so you can do something like... You can do something like that. And then just grab, you know? Because they're not really expecting you to block after that, right? You block it, you grab, boom. You start your strike throw mixed game now, right? So... So basically, Scorpion can do that, right? And the reason why we're doing it, because like, the reason why the board players will probably match that one is because this is to keep you from like just, it just keeps you from like other options. So like, let's just say for Joker, he can challenge with his, you know, forward one, right? That was shut up because he has to do that. He can't do 1-2 or, you know, like he can't do any of that. You can only do down one or forward one. Playback folder for like a mod for not single person with just like through all of your loops. You just gotta play it right. So, alright. Where am I getting with this, honestly? Alright, so I mean, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm just explaining, I guess. So let's talk about the amplified, right? So I'm gonna do two options. And I'm just gonna block after this one. So for this one, since you're looking for that, right? The amplified, if I have the bar, you might be susceptible to getting hit by that down one. But what pro players do for like situations like that, if they're not sure that it's going to punish, they go with the fastest move. So in this case, they're 1-1-2. But in some cases, that 1-1 may not punish, but it can still jail, right? So I'm going to set Devore to duck, right? This is duck, you can duck throws, all of that, right? Okay, that punished. Okay, that one missed. Okay, that jailed, but did not punish. So, like, just stuff like that you gotta keep in mind, right? Alright. So let me give you another example. Let's see. Another example we'll do from Scorpion's side. Scorpion, we all know about this one, +2. So we'll do with this. We'll start with this. So right here, you can't do anything about this down one, right? Okay, wrong. So if I try to like challenge with anything, that down one's gonna beat me. But since he's not plus enough, so this is why you gotta study your frames. And I'm not even talking about neutral like in here yet. So we haven't even got to that part. There we go. Basically it is that, right? So there's like so many ways that you could play this just off of basically 2-1. Because like +2, people will disrespect. They will find ways to disrespect it, right? When it gets to like +4, people tend to respect it. +3, a little iffy. But +4 and higher, people will most likely respect. +2, they're gonna mash, they're gonna do whatever the fuck they want, right? So for those that would like to backdash, so this is the game of chess that you gotta play, right? If you know your opponent likes to backdash after certain strings to punish your buttons, right? It's like if I'm trying to do this and you're backdashing my down one, to challenge that, I can check you with forward 3, right? So my sweep didn't even come out, right? So but at the same time, this is just the chess move, right? You gotta keep in mind, I can down one you now, right? So that's the mind game we're playing, right? Now, another way you could play this down one, right? Right? So like, what if you're trying to down one, you want to keep it honest, I check with down one, you know? I can also check it with back one, right? So Hold on. I could time that a little bit better, but you get the idea. That would be a punish. Right, so... And at that same time, you can actually backdash and then punish. Jesus Christ. Or I can just jump. I don't give a fuck. Wow, that counter jump one? I didn't get shit going, right? That's the type of game of chess that you gotta play. You have to consider all of those options when it comes to that. What else? There's, you know, you can also grab, right? Actually, I don't know. There could be a better example where you use grab it. Alright, let me fix the thing. So back to here, right? Now that we got like a good idea how neutral works up close, how does it work from here, right? Like I said from earlier, I would play this matchup like right here, right? Because it's outside of her 4-2 range, right? Let me put it back to saved position. It's outside of her range, and we don't really want that. Like, for Devora, she wants to play kind of outside, like, let's say right here. The Scorpion, all he has is like, that's his reach, right? Now, he does have potential with back 2, right? But it can get him killed, so you won't see it too often unless it's like a really unsafe move. So that's kind of the range Scorpion wants to play, right? Not wants to play, but that's the range that if he wants to get in, this is the type of buttons that he needs. This is the kind of range he needs to be in, like right here. But if he's playing the zoning game, he needs to be like right here. If he wants to get in, he's got to be like right here. I mean, he could actually be up close. These are some good buttons up close, right? Let's see. Cool. You gotta actually have them. So let's talk about Devora versus Spawn. Because I know a lot of people have problems finding a way in on Spawn's 3-4 string. Because there's like a mix-up on it. And yeah, I applied this to help with this matchup. It's definitely neutral base as well, you know, it's like very heavy neutral, but some people just don't have an option for it. We just don't know how. So Spawns would be like right here. So Devora's got the reach, right, but Spawns would be like right here. Looks like a Spawn. Well, I'm just outside of it, right? So, for him, that's his reach. My reach is right here. Well, I mean... And that's why you want to be right here when you play against Devora. But Devora can be like right here. Right? So you just gotta know your range, you gotta know your opponent's range, pretty much. And you wanna kinda play outside of it, right? Because what other range does he has other than 4-2, right? So you gotta know like what the kind of range they got. So because they live right here, you don't have to worry about that stuff about the follow up, right? So you just gotta get familiar with stuff like that, you know. And that's just basically whiff punishing, you know, like the war is neutral. You know, you got like the jump one mind game, you got she just got range, she can check it with 4-2, you know, like she can check it with forward 1, like you just gotta figure out what buttons are really good in neutral, what buttons you're gonna be using a lot. And how you can use that range against them, you know. And you just got because like if you take the board up close, right? She got all this range, right? Because that's where she excels. She has a good jump 1. She got a good forward 2, forward 1, down forward, all good, you know. But when you get up here, look at face value. What does she have, right? What kind of mid she has to check you with? 4-2, 19 frames, just going to get matched on, right? Forward 1 is a high, 12 frames for one of her best buttons. It's a high, so it's definitely going to get matched on, you know. The only options she's really got is down 1 and sweep, and she has some like 1-2 mind games, right? So like, that you gotta take in face value. Like, do you really need to be that close? Like, the only reason she'll be that close is if she has this bug, right? Because then she can steal her turns just because of that bug. She can implement a mix-up, you know, she can do grabs, she can combo for grabs, right? But outside of that, does she really need to be that close without the bug, right? Does she have a reason to, right? Unless she really needs to come back, and then you can start implementing staggers, right? And then we'll just take spawn's position, right? So I haven't played MK11 in so long, bro. I'm sorry, man. I guess it's easier to just talk about like certain matchups, how they would play. Let's talk about, let's see. I was talking about how the jump one mind game works for Devora.
The hourglass.
Because another thing when you play the neutral is you gotta learn to react. Because some people, they just play on like autopilot, right? They just do like Scorpion 2-1, backdash, back 1, and then they just only do that, and they don't really think about what they're doing, you know? Like, you could do 2-1 backdash, but then just leave it at the backdash. See what they do. If they press a button, you check them, right? But let's take a look at this real quick. So I'm going to put this up closer. So I'm going to just do this, right? Joker's got some options against the jump, right? Hold on. Like, you can do some shit, right? damn, man. There, like. So, like, there's stuff like that, right? But there's a threat, right? This is why people hate Honeybee when he uses jump 1. Because if you get hit by the jump 1, he uses teleport, so you get to eat a 30% combo every time he gets wrong on this mind game, right? So, very important that you know how to react. But some things you might not be able to, and this is one of them, and I'm going to show you why. So, let's take a look at the options. Let's just say jump up. So far, so good. Let me stand 1. Okay, stand 1, I'm gonna get fucked for it. It's not consistent. I don't know, I just can't do it with stand 1 and sometimes forward 1. Alright, so let's take a look at that. So, and then we got this hop attack, right? Because what if you try to make a read and then you do this shit, right? So, now I'm just doing a proximity OS, right? Or I'm just inputting this when I do this. In some cases, that could still fuck you over, right? Like, this has a good hitbox, it's good for anti-air, then it does more than forward 1, right? When you do this, if this doesn't connect, like this doesn't connect, you're gonna get this. And if I do that, you can get fucked for it. Boom, you get clipped just because of that, right? Right, so like, there's stuff like that you gotta think about, right? So, now let me try. So that's one of them. That's one of them, right? I mean, you can just block and just see what happens, right? Or you can just be a complete boss, right? Right? So like this stuff like that you gotta think about. So let me put this on auto. I'm gonna put it on random hidden playback. Right? So like, right? So like I'm trying to like I can't just like it fucks with you, right? That's why it's there. But then again, I can bait it, right? I can also bait it. If I know that's the game you're trying to play with me, I can also bait that. I feel like I could... Because you don't want to get clipped by that. You could also do a hop attack, and if you know like the air there, I feel like I could have recorded that better, but you guys get the mind game. What could possibly happen, right? So if I try to go for that, right? I could go for that, right? But then you can also bait that. Boom, you get eaten by crush and block, right? You get eaten by that crush and blow. You don't want that, obviously. Wow, I did a shit job at recording this. Yeah, I did a shit job recording that. Basically, that is kind of the game. Don't overreach. Basically, you wanna be making them overreach. Joker can play right here, right? That's where Joker wants to be. It's right here. Right, and if you're playing against, if you want to zone, you want to play it like right here. But if you're trying to get in, this is your sweet spot. You got everything you need right here. You got a 4-3, but there's not too much to get off of that, right? The Void can play outside of that, so you're going to be moving in a little bit more. Even though the Void needs to get in, she also needs to stay outside. Like, she can play like right here. Right. She can play like right here. She can her forward one here was put right here. Well, fuck. Like her forward one can still reach if she moves up, you know, like she got all of that, like all this can still like reach, right? Even her jump one can kind of like, maybe. Like if he extends, this jump one will connect. If he overextends himself and he tries to throw a button, this will catch him. Right, so if you play it right. And then like there's like things like you can do with that, right? That's the mind game. Like what if I didn't press jump one, right? Or I just do this, or like if I didn't do that and I just stop right there, I could clip you with forward one. And if you try it there, right? Or like something like that, you know? Like just like stuff like that you gotta really like think about. That's why reacting is just so important, you know? And it's just that's why when you see like people play in like tournaments and stuff, they're not like making too many moves. They're playing slow because like it is chess. Every move is like has like some kind of meaning to it. You know what I mean? Like when you throw out something, you have to make sure that you're not just throwing it out, and it's also just like there has to be like some kind of meaning to it. You know what I mean? Like you can't just be throwing out a button. Like you need to know why you're throwing out that button, how your opponent is gonna affect, how your opponent's gonna like interpret that in the next situation that you're in. Like if I do this jump on mind game, how is he gonna like the move that you're making? How is he gonna respond to it the next time you play this mind game? You know. Like, you can't play the same mind game every time. I mean, it works, but, like, eventually they're gonna stop falling for it, you know? And then that's where you mix them up. I don't know. I think I explained that pretty well. Alright. I don't know. How do you guys think I do? I think I could end the stream here. I mean, you guys get the idea. Just you just want to play outside of your opponent's range. You know, you just gotta get a feel for how they play. You know, you gotta also know your own range. Like, basically, you play outside your range. You want to get them into your bubble. You want to get them to this area without also being in their area. That's basically how neutral it is. So, like, let me get back right here, right? You want the Vora to be doing this. But also, you want her to be doing it within this range without being, like, in this range, right? You want to be right here. So you can actually punish her for doing that. Or just your opponent. Jeez, man, I guess they just fixed it. But that's just basically how I would see neutral. That's how I see it. Yank. Yeah, I guess that sums it up. Yank. Alright. Alright. Yeah, I think that's it. I guess we could just fuck around. I don't know. Maybe it's just in the stream here. Like, I mean, it's basic once you break it down, but like, that's basically it is. Just a game of chess. And you can play it. You can play it like, you know, right here. And stuff. You can play it up close. Alright, yeah, I'll stop here. Thanks for watching, everyone.